This is Sailor the Piper Man, Piper the Sailorman saying, "Good afternoon from the beautiful island of Puerto Rico." I decided to come on now, and I'm with my Nording. It's beautiful. I like because it has primitive like art. I love the color. You know, so see, you can see it's Nording. Still breaking in the pipe, and even though it's good piece of bribe, but well, I was sitting around watching YouTube videos, and I was watching a couple of the virtual club videos. I plan to down the road participate in terms of, you know, putting comments and things like that, and I'm making my rounds in the YouTube pipe community, the vast array of people that love pipes, you know, that love a good tobacco. And it reminded me, I was sitting there over time when I first began working at a pipe store of a young man. I don't remember his name. There's so many customers in New York that you see. Some you get to know, get personal. But it's the amount of people that would come and go. I was always busy with the customers. But he would come every Saturday, buy his pouch of tobacco. Uh, from the looks of him, he was a working class guy, seemed young, about 22. And he had a pipe, a regular old, it was not a brand name pipe. It was one of those seconds that you purchased back then. The seconds cost like about $22. Second Peterson or second whatever. His had little pits. He never did anything about it. And from the looks of it, he would stand there on the side. George, the manager, knew him. He knew the guys. He would come in, very friendly. He would ask if you wanted coffee. He would go out and get coffee, bring you coffee. And he became like a staple, iconic figure Saturdays mornings. Like I would go with my smiley face, go in it, and I knew he would be there. Or he would come in around 8:30, 9 a.m. in the morning, take the order, who wanted coffee, write it down, and he purchase it. So after a while, when he didn't show himself a week or so, you'd say, "Hey, where's that guy? You know, where's that kid that always comes in and buys us a cup of coffee?" And then the following week, when he showed up, you'd miss him, and it began drawing me to him. Like, wow, I really miss this guy. He's a nice guy, comes around, sociable, but he was always talking about how he loved his pipe, his little pipe. He had more expensive pipe, but that was his pipe. You know, that was his. I don't know. He had this love for this little pipe. The fact that it was nobody wanted it, and he purchased it, and he felt sorry for the pipe, and he worked on the pipe, and it ended up becoming a great smoking pipe for him. And he was heavily caked. His smokes in that pipe was like equivalent to smoking a clay pipe, maybe for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. He could smoke it. And one Saturday, we had a pipe expos where different salesmen came in and they would sell their part. This time, W.O. Larson came into with his pipes, and Nording was there, and it seemed like a Danish contingent. At that time, I really didn't know there were pipe shows, you know. I was a newbie, and so he was standing there, and everybody was smoking their best. All the guys in the store, there were about 10 of us working there, all brought in. The manager wanted to see us with the best pipes we had to bring it in that day. At the time, I had a Don Carlos. This guy had a special edition signature Savinelli. The other guy had Sir Jacobo. The other guy had a vintage pipes from the 50s, Dunhills, all over the place. So we immediately formed a circle and we were discussing. It was cold, slushy. It had rain, and so there weren't much customers coming in that Saturday. Even though there was a pipe show, it got busy later on. But in that morning, it wasn't very busy. So he bought us the coffee. We're hanging around, and we were talking to Larson. We were talking to some of the Danish, how wonderful the pipes. Some representatives of Jacobo were there, Representative Dunhill, and we're all talking about pipes. And he's got his little pipe. He's standing listening to everybody. He turns around and he looks at you. Yeah, you guys are $400 pipe. You got expensive type. But this is the best pipe in the world. We were all shocked, taken aback. And I'm looking at him, and he's standing there proud with that little pipe, and he's standing there like David against Goliath, And one of the Danish guys tells him, a pipe maker tells him, "Are you trying to tell me that's a better pipe than Mike Grecian, Plateau, Briar, yada yada yada?" And he begged to differ. So he said, "Well, why don't we wage?" And everybody was like, "Well, I'm betting on the Larson Beaches." And we were betting. Me and another guy said, "You know something? There's something about that pipe. The kid was bold enough, man. It's all caked up and everything." The other guy had a larger pipe. He says, "Let's see who can smoke the longest." So we had a section, two couches. They both signed it. What we were still doing with the customers. So George goes, "Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a competition to see which pipe is better." His pipe, I said, I looked at the representative from Double Arts. I said, "Man, this kid smoked that pipe every Saturday. He's had that pipe now for like 4 months. You sure you wanna put your brand?" He goes, "Yes, yes." So they both sat there. They lit up 2 matches, and I think it was a house blend, Marabella, that they had at the time. They said, "Go." So we're working with the customers, and with the side of my eye, I'm watching what's going on over there, and the crowd goes, and they rope them out, and they're both sitting there, and the people watching the competition. And 20 minutes go by, 25 minutes go by. The kid is like this. Yeah, the other guy's puffing. He's thinking, working his tamp. He had a wood tamp. He was like doing this and all that crazy stuff. And the kid is just using his finger. 40 minutes go by, and I can see the guy's Danish. He's trying to get the little bit of smoke, and he stopped at 47 minutes, which isn't bad. 60 minutes went by, the kid was still looking around, and the guy wasn't giving. I yelled out, "Hey, hey, hey, you got to puff, some smoke got to come out that thing." And then at 47 minutes, the Danish pipe maker gave in. And the guy was saying, "Okay, you can stop now. You won. Okay." They gave him a couple of, I think it was like $40 from the betting, and he smoked that pipe for 90 minutes. We were so in shock. We were like, "Holy smoke!" And he won that little good for nothing. It had pits in it, wore off, deeply coated. I smoked a W. Larson pipe, man. I could not believe it. The Danish guy afterwards was interested in the bride. Oh, very interesting. That's actually a very good bride. He goes, it wasn't a good smoke. It took me a long time to get this, prep this. So I learned a great lesson that you can have an inferior pipe and you could really work on that pipe to give you good smoke. Number two, never judge a second because it's not brand made. In that pit where they have those seconds, you can find a gem. It might not look the best pipe, but when it comes to smoking tobacco, which is what I'm about, you can find some excellent pipes at reasonable price, regardless of name, regardless of everything. I learned a huge lesson. And every time I would go to a different pipe shop, we had Famous Cigar Shop, we had international tobacco shops, and I traveled to California. I would go in. The first place I would go is to try to look for a good second. I don't know. I got into the habit. And he's like, "That's all you're gonna buy?" I said, "No, I'm not gonna buy the pipes, but I want to see something and look at the pipe." And so the kid taught me a great lesson about pipe. Never judge a pipe by its look, but by its smoke. This is Sailor the Piper Man, Piper the Sailor Man, signing out. Remember, it's not how great the pipe looks, it's how great it smokes. Ciao.